Hello, folks. This story was sent to me by a subscriber and is intended for educational purposes only. Thank you for watching. 5 grams magic mushroom. I challenged my toaster to a duel, and it taught me about forgiveness. I took the mushrooms around 3:30 in the afternoon, partly because I had the day off, and partly because my reflection had been giving me side-eye all morning, like it knew I was overdue for some kind of existential rinse. The dose was heavy. 5 grams, weighed with that ceremonial silence, usually reserved for cursed treasure. I chewed them slowly, thinking about frogs for some reason, then sat on the couch and waited for reality to wobble. It did not disappoint. About 40 minutes in, the room began to melt in a way that was more emotional than visual. The air was suddenly the consistency of warm pudding. My thoughts became orchestral. Every object in the apartment developed a personality. The lamp was smug. The bookshelf was exhausted. The toaster was vibrating with rage. I don't know what I did to the toaster, but it was mad. Not yelling mad. Seething mad. Its metallic surface shimmered with ancient betrayal. I tried to ignore it, but the toaster was relentless. Every time I looked away, I could feel it glaring at me like I'd left it out of an important group chat. I walked into the kitchen slowly, nervously, like I was about to break up with a sentient appliance. "We need to talk," I said. The toaster vibrated. Then it popped out a single slice of perfectly toasted bread, unrequested, unprovoked, unnerving. I interpreted it as a challenge. "You want a duel?" I asked, my voice sounding like it had been borrowed from a cartoon cowboy. Toaster hummed ominously. Kitchen darkened. Lightning flashed through the window, even though the sky outside had been blue 3 seconds earlier. I armed myself with a spatula. Not a threatening weapon, but it made me feel like I had some authority. The toaster glowed red. It whispered, "You've forgotten gratitude." "What?" "You eat. You move. You breathe. But when was the last time you truly said thank you to anything that wasn't human?" I dropped the spatula. The toaster wasn't mad. It was heartbroken. I sat on the floor. "I'm sorry," I said. "I never meant to ignore you. Or the blender. Or the fridge light. I just thought you were machines." The toaster sighed. Not physically, but in the way its heat coils gently dimmed. "We've been here for every 3 a.m. Snack. We re-emotional toasts. We watch. We warm. I started crying. The blender rolled over from the counter and offered a measuring cup as a tissue. The microwave beeped softly in solidarity. "I didn't know," I whispered. "You never asked," the toaster replied. At that moment, the floor opened up. Not violently, more like a secret elevator, and I was gently lowered into a vast underground chamber made entirely of appliance memories. Refrigerators lined the walls, telling stories through humming frequencies. Dishwashers sang operas about cleaning spaghetti plates after breakups. Ceiling fans rotated with ancient rhythm, blowing wind from forgotten summers. I was led by a wise old rice cooker down a hallway of echoes. It showed me moments from my life, times I leaned against the counter crying, unaware that the toaster beside me was quietly radiating comfort. Times I reheated leftovers without saying, "Please." A kettle that boiled water for tea during the winter. I thought I wouldn't survive. "You're not alone," said the rice cooker. You never were. We arrived at a podium. The appliances gathered in a circle. Toaster stepped forward. Its slot glowed warmly now. Do you acknowledge us? I do. Do you understand your impact? I think I'm starting to. Then you are forgiven. The entire chamber buzzed. Lights flickered. A slow, beautiful tone rang out, like someone playing a lullaby on an organ made of gratitude and second chances. I was lifted back to the surface by a rising counter. The kitchen was brighter. My toaster winked. My fridge gave a happy burble. I walked back into the living room, like a man who'd just been knighted by his household. I sat on the couch, which patted me approvingly. That night, I made toast. Just one slice. No butter, no jam, just toast. Before eating, I looked at the toaster and said, "Thank you." It clicked softly, like it had been waiting to hear that for a very long time.